It's embarrassing, it's humiliating, and it's frustrating because you're being casted as something that you're not at all. Hey fam, Sarah here. Welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday. By the time when you guys are seeing this video is going to be in real time, and it's actually going above a few videos that I have set up. So if you do see it and you see some other videos like filling in for the New Year's and stuff, don't be alarmed. They're kind of like not in order, but you know, for some reason this video is just sitting on my soul, and I generally don't like to focus on like negativity and stuff like this, because you know, I've kind of changed our brand a little bit in a sense. It's always been wholesome, but I made it like into also some humor and just kind of light, because I want it to be that channel where you can also come to and just get a little bit of peace, and you can see, like, you know what I mean? It's just not just always diving deep into stuff. So anyways, this morning, so for those of you guys don't know, if you haven't followed my Instagram, I did post on there and said that Babes, he pulled his back out, and he has even gone to the hospital and stuff like that. So he's been on the mend for the past 2.5, almost 3 weeks. And unfortunately, like, even though one thing got better, he's encountered a series of other issues of problems along the way. And so he's dealing with muscle spasms right now in his leg, and it hurts so bad. So that being said, I've already taken him to the hospital once, and they kind of dismissed it, and he came home. That was like 4 days ago. And then he's been suffering ever since. They've given him muscle relaxers, they've given him other meds, he's been taking this like an array of pain medication, and he's got a hot pack, a cold pack, all the things. I will probably, in the other videos, you'll hear me go in depth more about it when they do get uploaded, because they were more like in real time. But the whole point, I'm not focusing too hard on that. But that said, a lot of it wasn't working. So I ended up having to take him to the ER this morning, and he's currently there as I'm making this video, because I just feel like I have to rant. I have a bunch of things that are just like stressing me out. Like, I'm already concerned he's in the hospital, and like ideally it would be just nice to just kind of sit down and stress. But then I had another experience that just makes me want to vent, and it'll make me feel better, because I'm not a person that wants to lock everything in. I think it's so imperative, it's vital to release the stress. And I also want to be there for him and not be angered in any way, shape, or form, because, you know. So anyways, that being said, I dropped it at the ER. The way the policy works is that right now they don't have people coming in, so the waiting room is generally just the people in there who are ill. I think you can have visitors after you have made it to like your actual room, but right now visitors aren't allowed in, so I'm here. But anyways, I dropped him to the ER, and that was pretty quick because I can't go in. Then I'm driving home, and then I'm looking at my gas, and I realize it's literally on empty, and I'm like, oh shoot, I've got to go back to pick up Babe. I don't want to wait till when I have to go pick him up, when he calls me and says he's ready. I don't want to be out there driving on E. Not to mention the weather is so bad. Just to get him out the door, I had to spend like 10 minutes dusting off the car, and I had to shovel like a huge pathway because the snow was like this deep out there, and it's not safe for him to walk, so I had to shovel our way out of our house. So yeah, I drive to a gas station, the closest gas station near me, and I just roll up there. And let me walk you through the steps that I did, okay? I rolled up to the gas station, and for some reason I just pulled up a little bit, like pulled up closer to the pump. And then I took my card out of my wallet, because like, I'm like, the gas station pumps are so nasty. I don't want to be touching everything. So I took out my actual debit card, and I got my sanitizer ready for when I came back. I can sanitize my hands and my card at the same time. I grabbed that, went out the door, literally took the pump off the gas station. I just put it in, and then I just pressed regular and was getting started. And all I hear is, pump one, you have to come in to pay. Pump one, you have to come in to pay. I know I probably reenacted that all types of crazy, but that's because I'm like heated. I'm a little bit annoyed because I was like, okay, like where else am I gonna go to pay? Like where else? Let me know, because if I'm not paying here at the machine, where else is your girl gonna go pay? So I was like, I was irritated, okay? And I'm not one to get irritated easily. But you wanna know why I was irritated? Because this literally happened to me about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, at the other, like the sister gas station to the one that I was at. I was at a Petro-Canada. If you're in Canada, you would know. This was at a Petro-Canada, and I went to another Petro-Canada the week before with my daughter. The same thing happened. I didn't try to do anything out there. I was just trying to pump, and the weirdest thing is the gas station that I was at, like where I was, it was like just straight across from the gas station itself, so the woman could see me. She could see everything. Like she could see, I wasn't sideways to her. I was right facing right onto her while I'm pumping, and she's like, you gotta come in and pay, you gotta come in and pay. And I went into the, so this is the first time when it happened. I went into that one and I asked the lady, like, what was that about? Like, I know where I need to go to pay. Why am I being alerted of this? She's like, oh, I thought you were trying to press the pump. You're trying to pay outside and you needed to come in. I'm like, no, I wasn't. And I didn't do anything. So anyways, crickets from her. But then I was irritated when I left that place. And then the second time around, it happened. Today. It just like put me in a place. It literally just put me in that place of anger because I was just so frustrated. I don't ever really want to go too hard about race, and I don't ever share too hard about my experiences. Oh, who's that? But the first time it happened, oh, my throat. Panic. The first time it happened, even though I was like easy with that woman and I didn't buy any of what she was saying, I left that time feeling like, okay, yeah, it's probably because I'm black, but we'll see, let it be. And I felt it because she didn't do that to anyone else, and it was just me. You know, intuition isn't too far off when you can feel it. When you're a person of color that have experienced these kinds of things time and time again, your intuition is generally not wrong, okay? So that time passed, and to me, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just putting this crap behind me because, wow, this hasn't happened to me in a while, though I experienced other racist crap all like here and there, but I just kind of like put it on the background because you know what, like you have to live your life and you have to try your best to just live a happy, healthy life despite these mindsets. And oh my gosh, today when this other woman did the same thing to me, I just about lost it. Like I had no filter at that point. I was like, are you serious? I was like, where the hell do you think I was gonna go and pay? Like where? You know, I can be the sweetest person, I can be the calmest person, I can be the nicest person, but I can also pop off and stand up for me when time needs be. And this was one of those moments where I'm like, okay, this has happened before. I handled that gracefully, but today I'm not about that. And today's a Sunday too. Today is a Sunday too. Like the devil's trying me today because this woman straight up just tells me I gotta come in. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I was standing out there and I'm like, it's so embarrassing. This other man is there. He's been there well before I came up, and he was pumping, just standing there. And I'm like, is this normal? Like, where else am I gonna go pay? Is there something that I don't know? And he's like, you know? So I go in. This is where it gets all messy, okay? I go in. And then she's like, you pump one? She's like, your total was $70 to me. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm well aware. Like, do you think I was out there pumping gas with Casper? Do you think I was just like looking off at the snow in the sky or watching the trees while Casper was busy pumping my gas? And now I need both y'all to tell me the total. Like, I know my total, and it wasn't like she was telling me the total like, oh, pump when you're $70. No, she was like, your total is $70. Like, clearly she thought I was coming in to steal gas. And not only that, now that it's $70, she's like flabbergasted at the fact that I somehow can afford to pay this $70 gas. So then I asked her, I said, what was that about? Like, seriously, what was that all about? Because I'm confused. And she's like, oh, it's because I thought you're trying to pay. I thought you're trying to pay out there. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I didn't even go anywhere near the machine. I literally exited my car, turned around and put the nozzle in, and that's it. I literally pressed it and to start pumping. And she's like, oh, and I'm like, I feel like this is because I'm black. And yeah, I'm wearing like sweatpants and I'm wearing a hoodie. I felt like I was getting judged because of my appearance and what I was wearing. Now she's like, oh no, it's not that. And I'm like, well, this has happened before, and it's happened by another lady that is exactly like you, who worked at the other sister gas station right down the street. Clearly it's something that's being practiced, and clearly they're somehow connected. And she's like, oh no, it's not. I apologize. I'm from, you know, she's trying to tell me that she's where she's from and that she has a lot of black friends. Yeah, haven't I heard that one before? Just basically trying to make excuses, telling me how much, oh, she's sorry and she didn't mean to do it. It's just that there were two pumps out there and she didn't know which one. Heck no. The guy down at the other end, he was pumping, and he's been there for like 5 minutes before I pulled into the gas station. I saw him and he was pumping. So you're not concerned about him. He was already doing his thing. It's me that you're talking to. Then she's trying to act all confused that she didn't know which pump I was. It's because she didn't know. Like, give me a break. So like, seriously, I'm just curious, have any of you guys ever experienced this? Like, I know that there are people who've been known to steal gas, but I'm sorry, are they all black? Why is it that we and women are being casted as such, especially me, a black woman? Because I've experienced this twice now, and I'm just curious if this is like a thing that's just in Canada or if it's in the US. I am legit curious about this. It's embarrassing, it's humiliating, and it's frustrating because you're being casted as something that you're not at all. And I'm just like, how do I get past this? So anyways, I came home, I was telling my daughters, and we were looking it up, and lo and behold, other gas stations and other people have experienced the same thing. And it's always people of color, why am I doing quotations? It's always people of color who's experiencing this, and they're being called up. Like, she clearly thought I couldn't afford to pay for $70 gas. I had to explain to her, I said, ma'am, I have multiple vehicles and I can fill my vehicles. And she's like, oh no, I don't doubt that you can't. Like, all of a sudden, like, yeah, now you're the victim because I'm popping off on you. You're the victim. The real victim is me, because I constantly am getting typecasted as a thief for no reason at all. And then on top of it, when I'm coming in to pay, I'm being judged. Your eyes, your attitude, everything towards me is telling me you're judging me at the fact that you think I cannot pay for my gas. That needs to stop. Like, that's crazy. I'm just curious. I wanted to rant. So I appreciate if you've been listening this whole time. I appreciate you. I wanted to rant, but I also wanted to see if this is just like something that's new to me, if other people are experiencing it like all over the place. And I want you guys to share your story down below, please, because as much as like I love to share humor, I think it's so important to share these kinds of things too. I'm a lot more than humor, and there's lots of there's depths to me. In fact, I was more this before I brought humor to my channel. But I don't want that because it can be draining to just oh, my leg's falling asleep. It can be draining to just even talk so in depth about these type of topics, because it brings forth like a lot of negativity. There's some people who will defend it, and there's some people who will be for it and support it and understand it, and it's just so draining all the time, like having to address and just respond to types of things like this, both in person when it's happening and on the internet. But today was a different thing. I'm just like, I want to share it. I want to share it because I'm curious. I'm flat out curious how often this happens. So leave your comments down below. Let me know your take on my story. Do you think it's racism? Do you think I overreacted? Because I don't feel like I did, because this has happened to me multiple times, and there's literally no explanation as to why it should be happening. People are, I felt like I was just being misjudged. I don't know if it's the attire that I have on, like a baggy sweats and a baggy sweatpants, but the thing is, my one thing is, when I pulled up to the gas station, you know, I'm driving a Caravan, so it pulls up and you can't, I guess she couldn't see me behind it. I had no clue then I needed to park a particular way at the gas station, so so they could physically see me. Like, you all have cameras. Isn't that what cameras are for? Like, what does that have to do with me? So because she couldn't physically see me, she felt the need to call me out. Now, also, when my daughters looked it up, when we were looking it up, another person who experienced the same thing as me was a black man, and he said when he pulled up, they called him out. Other people were out there, and he was embarrassed as heck because they called him out, and when he went in and asked why, they called him to actually pay first before he pumped, and which I think is what she was gonna have me do. And I'm like, no, I'm pumping my gas. Like, leave me the hell alone. I'm not gonna, if I wanted to pay first, I would be there. I would have came in and pumped first. So I left that alone. But the guy who said he went in to pump, the guy who said he was alerted to go pay first, he went in and he asked why, and he was like, it's because you're too black. Your car's black, your what was it, your car's black, your clothes is black, and you're black. Like, anyway, sorry if the angles changed for a second because my camera died, but yeah, that response to me is just like, it's mind-blowing. Like, I cannot fathom how you can, and you may, I get it, she could be innocently saying that, but I don't think she was, and he felt it. Like, you don't just go, you're too black, your clothes is black, your car is black. Like, I don't know, I wasn't there, but he's not the first to say he's experienced it too. Other people have said it, and it's at similar locations, and yeah. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Sunday. Not the best Sunday, but happy Sunday. And pray for my husband. Pray that he has a speedy recovery, like from here on out, because it hasn't been speedy thus far, but we're praying that he gets answers today for the second time of being in the emergency, and that things will be okay. But like I said, other videos are to come that are pre-recorded. I just felt for some reason to just push this one out. It has a meaning, it serves a purpose, as opposed to just a vlog. And I love my vlogs, don't get it twisted. So I hope you guys are enjoying the vlogs too, but just when you see it, don't be alarmed at the fact that it may not be in order based on something you've seen prior. So don't forget to comment, share, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and share my videos, as well as follow us on our platform, guys. On TikTok we're approaching 50,000, so yeah, follow us on our platforms, and on Instagram I think we're starting to get some traction on there too. So we post a lot of content on Instagram, so definitely follow us on there as well. And take care, y'all. Until next time, see you, bye y'all.